Bank robbery suspects ambush a sheriff's deputy and then lead police on a violent chase.
These people are dangerous. They have no regard for the citizens. They need to come off the street.
May 22nd, 2010, Sugar Land, Texas. Bank of America security cameras capture a gun-wielding man demanding money from a teller. As he flees, another security camera records images of his getaway vehicle. A white van. An all-points bulletin goes out. Within minutes, Deputy Charlie Scott of the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office spots a vehicle that matches the description.
I saw a white construction van that didn't have any construction materials. And upon activating my lights, it was more or less like a routine traffic stop until they came to an abrupt stop.
As Deputy Scott's dash cam rolls, the van stops and the rear door flies open, revealing a man brandishing an AK-47.
I really didn't see much of anything except the doors opening. The next thing that I heard was a gunshot. The suspect then fired another round. That round went through my windshield. I attempted to dive to the right in the passenger seat to get underneath the engine block for cover. In trying to get cover, I was shot in the left arm, and I was also shot in the head. I then returned fire back over my head. I was like being hit in the head with a baseball bat.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I put my hand on the back of my head because there was so much blood. I thought the back of my head had been blown off. As I was getting out of my vehicle, I was thinking about a lot of things. My wife's going to be really mad at me. I was thinking about my children. I was thinking about my partners. At one point, I thought about trying to get in my car and pursue the vehicle. However, I was disabled significantly and losing an awful lot of blood.
I'm hit. I'm hit.
Deputy Scott is bleeding profusely, but manages to radio for help.
99 northbound. Roll EMS.
I feel that the suspects made a mistake by not finishing me off.
Report at 99, he's been shot.
I was able to get out the information and get my partners over there to help me and potentially locate the vehicle.
As officers rush to Deputy Scott's aid, Deputy Frank Sempa Sr. hears the call over the radio.
I advised dispatch I was going to go north on FM 1464 to try to intercept the van. Within a couple of minutes, another deputy saw a white construction van turning onto a street.
Knowing that the men in the van are willing to use deadly force, the officers proceed with caution. Deputy Carlos Pocasangre is also in pursuit.
As I was exiting the vehicle, the rear door from the suspect vehicle opened up and they started firing.
The dashboard camera is not pointed at the van, but it picks up the sound of the gunfire.
Due to the gunfire, I kind of ducked down a little bit for a second and across my computer. And when I come back up, the van was right in front of me. I tried to block it with my patrol vehicle. The video showed that the van veered around me.
They're shooting.
The van pulls out into traffic and the deputies give chase.
The suspect just continued to fire from the rear doors of the vehicle. And we just continue to follow them.
It's now about 10:10 in the morning. It's a busy Saturday. We're zigging and zagging through traffic. This gunman has no regard for anyone. Deputy Banks, who was in front of me, had taken a round to his front windshield and blew out his back window.
Deputy Sempa edges closer to the van as it turns onto a side street into a residential neighborhood.
I looked up at the street sign and I said Dargale, and I wanted to make sure dispatch knew where I was, so I spelt it out. I believe they did with Charlie Scott. So I stayed there. It seemed like an eternity, but it was only about 10 seconds. I looked to my right, Deputy Carlos Pocasangre pulls up in his vehicle.
And I checked on him, and I knew he was okay. He said he was okay, just go ahead and go.
The van takes off, and deputies Pocasangre and Sempa follow it as it heads into a vacant lot.
The van made an arcing turn and started gunning the engine. So I advised dispatch that I was going to be prepared to be hit head-on by this van.
Coming out, head on.
At the last minute, the driver of the van elected to pull to his right, and his left front fender struck the left front fender of my patrol car.
The van speeds past the patrol car, and Deputy Sempa finds himself once again exposed to the back of the van.
My vehicle's been hit.
I expected the back door to open when he passed by and possibly be executed at that point. So I elected to cross some open ground to take a new cover behind a country mailbox and a trash can that was out.
Deputy Pokasangre pulls up a few feet away.
My goal was to stop the rear doors from the suspect vehicle from opening, because I knew if the doors opened, it was going to be a bad day for us. Did I have a plan? No, I did not have a plan. Just hoping I wouldn't get shot. And if I did get shot, I was hoping it wouldn't be in the head. So I exited my patrol car, and I started firing on the suspect vehicle.
I was going to resort to my NYPD training of kneel down, make yourself a small target, and engage the target. As soon as my right knee hit the ground, I did a controlled firing with my 9mm. There was no hesitation. I mean, I've been in the business long enough, and whenever there's a threat out there, my goal is to go home after shift every night, and I'm keeping my head in the game, and I'm going to take care of business until I'm either neutralize the threat or I'm out of the game. It didn't take but about 10 or 15 seconds before the driver opened the door and surrendered.
Officers converge on the van and find that the shooter is killed during the firefight. The driver is later convicted of aggravated assault and robbery and sentenced to 45 years in prison.
These individuals were on the FBI's most wanted and America's most wanted, and had been very aggressive, violent bank robbers for 3 years.
Officers keep the white van at the police impound lot. Its bullet-riddled exterior a reminder of the officers who put their lives on the line. A year after the incident, Deputy Scott is awarded a Purple Heart for the injuries he sustained. And all of the officers who were involved are honored for their bravery.
I have an awful lot of respect for my partners. I think they did a phenomenal job that day. I think they did it with dignity and courage.
And I'm old school PD.
I'm hit.
If an officer put an assist over the radio, especially being shot, you continued in that endeavor until either you or your patrol vehicle was taken out. And if your patrol vehicle was taken out and you can get into another vehicle, you can continue in the endeavor, and you're going to keep going until you track this culprit down.